What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for NFL Week 6 top DFS picks.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon
so you don't miss our new videos.
In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for this week's NFL slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, NFL Week 6, let's take a look at the quarterback position. I like Matthew Stafford from the Detroit Lions playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have the 4th worst defense overall, and they give up the 7th most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford has averaged 19.1 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 2.5 rush attempts per game. He's going to be about 9% owned here, and he scored 23 fantasy points last week. He had 3 rush attempts. He's projected at 22.5 fantasy points here in Week 6. He's 6,300 DraftKings salary and 1,000 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks this is going to be a high-scoring game. 54.5 points scored in this game, with the Detroit Lions favored by 3.5. So we got a high-scoring game and a fantastic matchup. So I like Matthew Stafford here versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, let's take a look at the running back position. I like Ronald Jones from the Tampa Bay Bucks playing the Green Bay Packers, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, but they give up the 2nd most fantasy points to opposing running backs. Ronald Jones has averaged 14.1 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 14.8 rush attempts per game and 4.6 pass targets per game. He got 17 rush attempts and 5 pass targets last game, and 20 rush attempts and 9 pass targets the game before that. So plenty of volume, and he's going to be about 17% owned. I think he's going to score at least 15 fantasy points here in this matchup, and he's only 6,000 DraftKings salary, and he's 200 less on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 54 points scored in this game, with the Tampa Bay Bucks trailing by 2.5. So we got a close competitive game here and a great matchup. So I like Ronald Jones here versus the Green Bay Packers. Real quick guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all the tools for NFL, MLB is still going, NBA is right around the corner. This is a great time to get in and try everything for 1 month. The tools are all about saving research time. You can see the last 3 games, the fantasy points per game, the targets they got per game, so you can see how involved they are in the offense, the rushes they got per game. Seeing all this stuff on one screen helps you save time and make better picks. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the wide receiver position. I'm just going to spend up here. I like Adam Thielen for the Minnesota Vikings playing the Atlanta Falcons, who have the absolute worst defense overall, and they give up the 6th most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. Adam Thielen has averaged 22.2 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 8.8 pass targets per game. He got 13 pass targets last game, scored 29 fantasy points. He's going to be about 22% owned here. He's on the field for 92% of the snaps, touches the ball 16% of that time, projected at 17.8 fantasy points here in Week 6. He's 7,300 DraftKings salary and 100 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks this is going to be a high-scoring game, 54.5 points scored in this game, with the Vikings favored by 3.5. So without Dalvin Cook, I'm expecting that Adam Thielen is going to get a ton of passing volume. It's a great matchup here, a high-scoring game and a close game, so I like Adam Thielen here versus the Atlanta Falcons. Okay, moving on to the tight end position. I'm going to stack this guy with Matthew Stafford. I like TJ Hockenson from the Detroit Lions playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have the 4th worst defense overall, and they give up the 5th most fantasy points to opposing tight ends. TJ Hockenson has averaged 11.8 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 5 pass targets per game. He's only going to be about 6% owned. He's on the field for 72% of the snaps, projected at 11.4 fantasy points here in Week 6. He's $5,300 DraftKings salary and $400 more on FanDuel. So Vegas thinks this is going to be a high-scoring game. 54.5 points scored in this game, with the Detroit Lions favored by 3.5. So plenty of fantasy points to go around in this one. Excellent matchup here. So I like TJ Hockenson here versus the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NFL slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck.